Here is the second chapter of sociology, sociological research. In this chapter, we will learn about the importance of scientific method to sociology, differentiate between quantitative and qualitative research methods, restate the 8 steps of sociological research process, explain the importance of random sample in survey research, compare and contrast unobjective observation, participant observation, interviews, ethnography, and case study research. We also discuss the strengths and weaknesses of secondary data analysis and discuss the difference between a correlation and a causal relationship. We will know about the informed consent and discuss its importance to research on human subjects. At the end, there is a summary. Research. Here is an Barton's analysis of female exotic dancers. Barton's research on exotic dancers make clear basically an endless number of topics can be studied sociologically. Like all the people have the different interests. What sociological topic interests you, and how might you go about researching it? It used basically observation and interviews, both formal and informal discussion, and sound sociological research methodology provided her with an objective analysis. The scientific method and objectivity in sociological research. Sociology relies on the scientific method, fixed and formal system of observation and measurement that builds on an established body of knowledge, and based on objectivity, research without allowing personal bias or prejudice to influence the researcher. Research methods are basically the scientific procedures sociologists use to conduct research and develop knowledge about a particular topic. The quantitative and qualitative research methods. Quantitative research methods are it is a unit of analysis which is object, article, thing, or object being studied and quantified. Anything that can be quantified is included in the quantitative research, and it doesn't allow for participant understanding of situation or individual experiences. The qualitative research methods are non-numerical information, observation, interviews, case studies, ethnography, and content analysis. As you can see that they all are subjectified, that you cannot objectify these all things. So it is called the qualitative research. Here is another technique that is called mixed method analysis, in which you use both quantitative and qualitative methods. Conducting sociological research. So what is the process while conducting a sociological research? First of all, you have to choose a research topic. After selecting it, you have to develop a research question or questions. For example, what you are going to answer, what are the things you want to know. After researchers select a topic of study, they must perform a literature review, because then they come up with the relevant academic article and information. And there are the other procedure like theory, hypothesis, dependent and independent variables. Theory is a comprehensive and systematic explanation of events that lead to testable predictions. A hypothesis or an educated guess on how independent variable and dependent variable relate to each other. Independent variables are basically those variables that deliberately manipulated to test the response in an experiment, and dependent variables are variables whose value depend on the independent variables. Then researcher must develop a research design or a process used to collect, measure, or analyze data in order to produce findings. While they are collecting the data, the two things are checked. the data reliability and its validity. Then the data is analyzed and the conclusions are drawn. Reliability is basically the ability to repeat the research finding. To have validity means that data must measure what it claims to measure. Determining research steps. What are the basic steps a sociological researcher should take if she is interested in exploring whether using social media influences students' grades? Types of sociological methods. First is surveys. In survey, as you know, that the researcher gathered the information from a population sample through a standardized questions, and it's a quantitative method. And you just collect the data from survey through questionnaires. Questionnaires are in the questionnaire there are series of questions for the purpose of gathering information, to which respondents provide answers. Respondents are the persons who fill that questionnaires. The population is the target group in surveys. A sample in the population is a subset of the selected population, and generalization is the extent that what is learned from a sample can be applied to the population from which the sample is taken. And a random sample is a group of subjects arbitrarily chosen from a defined population. Researcher may use a sample of convenience, which is a non-random sample of people that is readily available to the researcher. A sample of convenience is usually uh, uh, asked to that certain type of sample that is readily available to the researcher. These samples often suffer from selection effects or the likelihood that a non-representative sample may lead to inaccurate results that cannot be generalized to a larger population. Field research. It is a study a group of individuals in their everyday settings. It is a qualitative method because you have to check it or observe them every day. It can be done by three ways, like structured, unstructured, and semi-structured interview. Structured interviews are interviews that include a set list of open-ended questions asked of all respondents. Unstructured interviews are interviews that include the researcher asks respondent a series of open-ended questions that may differ depending upon the interview. And semi-structured interviews blend aspects of both. Participant observation. Sociologist Sudhir Venkatesh, author of the book Gang Leader of a Day, spent years conducting participant observation into a gang culture in a housing project in Chicago. He is shown here where the former Robert Taylor homes once stood. In the subcategory of field research, there are two types: ethnography and case studies. Ethnography basically combines unobtrusive and participant observation and researchers part of subject's life for extended time, like the researcher live with the respondent and to observe him. Case study is basically investigate one person, group, or event in detail. It is time consuming, and critics say that it cannot generalize these findings. The other method is secondary data analysis. Secondary data is that which others have already collected and published. For example, the general social surveys, American community surveys, census data, or crime statistics. Secondary data analysis also have two subcategories, like content analysis, which examine text to draw conclusion, and longitudinal data. It gathered over an extended period of time. No control over how data was collected, cannot verify accuracy. Here is a lady named as Jean Kilbourne. She conducted years of content analysis of media advertisement to find out that the objectification of women and girls in the media often influences not only how society sees women and understands gender differences, but how women and girls sees themselves. The other type is experiments. It is controlled scientific procedures. It includes the independent variable that is manipulated to test effects on a dependent variable. And in experiments, the researcher need an experimental group or a control group. For an experiment to be valid, researcher typically use the two group of people, these two group of people. And the experimental group of subject that is exposed to an independent variable, and a control group of subject that is not exposed to the independent variable. The relationship between these variables either causal or a correlation. A causal relationship is one in which a condition or an independent variable lead to a certain consequences in a dependent variable. In contrast, the correlation is said to be an indication that one factor might be a cause for another factor. And correlation has also three types, like positive correlation means it occurs when variables increase or decrease together. Negative correlation occur when two variables move in opposite direction, like one increase the other decrease. A spurious correlation can be observed when two variables that appear to be related actually have different causes. The Hawthorne effect. It is the behavior changes when part of an experiment. Here is a detailed table of research methods, that how do they measure up. As we already discussed, the survey methods are survey, and the next column shows its description, its pros and cons in detail. Ethics in sociological research. An experiment was run in Stanford prison, also called as the Stanford prison experiment, in which the 12 students assigned as guards and 12 students assigned as prisoners. It cancelled after 6 days because after running that experiment, the guards exhibited sadistic behaviors and prisoners exhibited severe emotional distress. Zimbardo said that this situation and non-personalities lead to the behavior. He said that we assigned them the situation and we were doing the experiment. It was not their personal trait or behavior. It was the situation. Situation changed and their expression and behavior changed. Experiments and ethics. In 1971, the Stanford prison experiment brought to light important questions about ethics in human subject research. History of human subjects in research are basically these are the other experiments like concentration camp prisoners, Nuremberg Code established after WW2, World War II, or the necessity of informed consent, and the other study in the university study and didn't provide informed consent. An institutional review board or IRB is a committee that used to approve, monitor and review biomedical and behavioral research that involve humans. So the history of human subjects in research and National Research Act of 1974 also implies on it. And there are other principles of Belmont Report principle that are respect for persons, beneficence and justice. American Sociological Association ASA has a code of ethics that employs on a professional competence, integrity, professional and scientific responsibility, respect for people's right, dignity and diversity, and their social responsibility. Do you think that it is very appropriate to use deception in sociological research? Why and why not? Thank you so much.